Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da da da. Ya ba ba hi ya da da da. Yada da da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya ba ba ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya 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 ba ba yo. Ya ba ba da. Ya da da. Ya da da. Ya da da. Erev Tov, good evening. Day back in the traditional saddle of whatever my regular life looks like on a Wednesday, when it's not vacation, break, holiday, and here we are. Another opportunity to count with each other, to count on each other, to be there for one another, to show up, and a way to end a day and start another one together in community with all of you. How beautiful a blessing that is. And so before we count for today, let us recall with wholeness 2 moments of gratitude that might have happened since we last connected, evening connection. And also let us acknowledge that, we are not perfect people and there's no such thing as perfect in the world. And so, as we close out this day before we start another day together, we say, Guide of the universe, allow us to forgive anyone who angered, antagonized, or hurt us today, whether they did so accidentally or willfully, whether through speech or deed, and may we be forgiven for any wrongs we've done today through action or word, willingly or by accident. May compassion and kindness be our guide. Each day comes with just so much, just holding the weight of the world, holding on to hope, holding on to sanity, because it feels like sometimes it's slipping away. We're all having a hard time just with all that's unfolding. College campuses, friends, family, disagreements over what side is right or what's going on in the world, or just everything that is potentially burdensome in each and every day is this opportunity that arises to say, you know what? Let's try to meet it with compassion and kindness. Let us be guided by that which is. In this second week of the Omer, in the week of Gevura, in the week of strength and judgment and discernment, we stand in awe. We serve with strength and we're guided by humility. So let's bring in another day together. Let's learn a little bit. Let's go forward with a little bit of homework. Hopefully it's not too much today. I'm all tired. Who knows what the day will bring, but we'll work through it together. So here we are, ready to hold on to the mitzvah, hold on to the commandment to do this, and also to add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of um, soul work, so that we'll be taking the steps towards revelations, taking the steps towards Shavuot, taking the steps towards authenticity, taking the steps mostly and most important together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer Hayom Tisha Yamim Shehem Shavua Echad Ushne Yamim LaOmer. Today is day 9, which is 1 week and 2 days of the Omer. As we add tonight's space for counting the week of Gevura. Today is day 9. On day 9, it is Gevura Sheba Gevura. Strength within strength. What does it mean to be structured? What does it mean to be too structured? When we add discipline and structure to our lives, do we find a balance? Do we use our strength? In what ways? How much? Too often? Can we be restrained by others? Can we be honest with ourselves? Sometimes we're too critical of ourselves. We're using strength in a maybe not the most perfect way. We all have flaws, and that we know. But we make a plan of action to try and find ourselves improving, find ourselves doing that soul work, working on this sort of balance, the discipline. Listen, we know about discipline. We show up here every night. That's a discipline. To be able to tell ourselves that this is important. And you know what? On even the hardest day, it's still important. Even though we're tired, we still show up for one another, but also for ourselves. It says, Psalm 111, 111, verse 10, the beginning of wisdom is awe. The beginning of wisdom is awe. The strength of a spiritual warrior who remembers they are not the source of their own power. They are the channel through which divine power flows. What does that mean? Imagine you were a tree. Your power is not just because you're standing there existing erect in the ground. It is that we are fed, if we're trees, through the root system. The nutrients come through the soil. I don't need to give you an earth science lesson. But if we remember as humans, we also don't exist by our own. Systems have to be flowing in a particular way. Imagine a world without gravity. We'd be floating around like we were on the moon, although sometimes it feels like we're living in some foreign alternate universe. But if we remind ourselves that we are a vessel, we are a channel, we are connected to that which is oneness, the mystery of life, the divine that lives within us and around us, through us. And through us, we connect to the next. Our lives are conceived in mystery. Well, maybe. Our strength comes from that which is something that fuels us, something beyond ourselves, something beyond measure. But there is something that gives us strength, that gives us power, that gives us this purpose as we bow in awe to the source of all, yielding to that power that flows constantly through us, even at the moments where we are most depleted, and still in the moments where we have enough fuel. I think for many of us, we feel exhausted by our own existence, I think. But 9 days into the Omer, we're reminded that from strength goes strength, right? It's like when you finish a book of Torah, it is chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek, strong, strong, and be strengthened, or strength, strength, and be strengthened. That is, no matter how much strength you have, you will still need more. That there will still come a place where you feel it, you don't feel it, but within you, it's there. It just needs a little igniting. It's like a perpetual flame. It doesn't go out, but the light gets weak and dim, and then all of a sudden it's a fierce fire. And so we find ourselves in moments where sometimes we need a little strength, sometimes we offer a little strength to someone else because we have enough or extra. Gevura Sheba Gevura, strength within strength, or perhaps discipline, or perhaps justice, or perhaps power when not used in ways that aren't the best ways for us. So, what is the work that we need to think about? Where are we on this 9th day, 2 weeks and 2 days of Omer? What if we were to reflect on something that we believe is true? Right now, with all that is going on, it's hard to know the truth. It's hard to not be swayed by what others may be thinking, may be feeding us, maybe fueling us in whatever way it is. But if we can reflect on some things that we believe to be true, feeling the truth of those very things, feel the rightness of it, the truth of the idea, the thought that it is. And each time we come to whatever we're feeling in that moment to be true, let us say to ourselves, I could be wrong. How often do we feel so all in? How often do we feel absolute truth? And then someone comes at us with a different opinion, or maybe the factual information, and all of a sudden we're realizing, what if we're wrong? I could be wrong, or oh, I am wrong. Oh, I didn't realize that. Having strength is also the idea that we can yield, right? Sometimes I used to be a practitioner of Tai Chi. And these moves were essentially moving energy through your body, but moving as if you were fighting someone, as if you were, warding off another. And sometimes the feeling of yielding was more powerful, was more strength to then move forward. You know, when somebody, I don't like violence and I don't like punching and things like that, fighting. But imagine you were to just stand in a position and punch somebody like this, right? Okay, they're going to get hit. But if you were to back up, yielding, and then lunge forward, strength comes from the yield. Strength comes from taking a step back, when we approach God, as it were, when we say, Shiviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid, that I place God before me. Before the Amidah, we take a step forward and then we take a step back to allow yielding so that we can be strengthened. We're not always right. You can record me saying it. I am not always right. A lot of times I am, but I'm not always right. And neither are you. And neither are we as a people, as a group, as a community, as the members of this live right now. Our work for today on day 9 is to reflect on things that we believe to be truth. And when we identify those things, feel it. Feel that truth. I know it's the truth. I know it's right. I like this idea. And then yield to it to say, wait, I could be wrong. Sit. Feel the sensations that arise in our bodies. May we go from strength to strength. Gevura, Shebe Gevura. It was beautiful to be with you, Sam and Rachel, Debbie, Elisa, Linda, Bet, Amy, for all of you that are watching live and all of you that will watch it other times. Let's keep it going. Let's keep counting. Let's keep doing. Let's keep showing up. Let's keep opening our eyes. Let's keep with the strength that pushes us forward but reminds us when to yield. That is our holy work. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you. And guess what? We'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 and 9:30. Have a beautiful night's sleep. Let's wake up tomorrow together to lift up tradition and to lift up love. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai.